Hi ladies, it's Nikki, I believe 30, and I'm here on my 2 week wait just to give you all an update. I wasn't going to come on simply because I just wanted to wait until after I get my results to give you all the news on my on the outcome of the transfer. Right now I am 11 days past embryo transfer, and tomorrow, August 22nd, is my beta and ultrasound, my first beta test. I'm very nervous because I really don't know what to expect. Like I said, I went through IVF because I am unable to have kids due to the fact that when I was 23, after I had my son, I tied my tube. Um, it was a marriage that ended, unfortunately, um, but I really thought at that time that, that by me having a boy and a girl and me being married at the time, that was all that we needed. Um, since then, since met my husband Paul, and we both have been wanting to have kids, you know, um, with each other, and we've been researching, and we've come to this point with IVF. So, um, but I'm saying all that to let you all know that it's been 8 years since I've last been pregnant, and it's like it's my first time all over again. Um, I'm feeling all kinds of symptoms. Some of them are kind of like when I'm about to get my cycle, when I'm about to have onflow. The cramping, the mood swings, the tiredness feeling, um, the cramping especially. I'm getting a lot of cramping, a lot in my back area, all around the sides. I have this heavy sensation feeling over in my left side of my abdominal area. I mean, must I must tell you, these past um, 11 days, at least 4 of them, I've been running to the bathroom thinking that I'm going to see Aunt Flo at any minute because it feels like she is there and she's just waiting to come down. Yesterday I had a scare. I woke up early in the morning and I went to the restroom. And to my surprise, there was pink spotting. And I started freaking out. I immediately got on the phone and I called the on-call doctor to tell him what I was going through. My stomach started cramping. That cramping feeling. Sometimes your stomach balls up when you're getting nervous. You feel like you gotta go to the bathroom and do number two. I was feeling like, at that time, like I had to go to the bathroom. I'm like, oh God, no, that's the cramp. If I go to the bathroom, then I'm gonna push the baby out and I'm gonna have my period, because it felt just like the cramps that that you get before you have your period. That's just how the pains were. And I started freaking out, so I went and I put on something, and I said I'm gonna check back in the next 2 minutes to see if it's coming down heavier. So I try not to get too excited because sometimes, you can really push things to more than what it is. And I didn't want to get too worked up about it because I have read some forums where some women have actually spotted during their 2 week wait, and it's just a sign of implantation. So, with that in my head and with me standing on God's word, that was what got me through, the time I was waiting for the doctor to call me back, because I was still freaking out. So in the meantime, I just laid down and I put my feet up. I got water. I started drinking the water, and I put that message in through the answering service, and I was waiting for my doctor to call me back. When the doctor called me back, the first thing she asked me is if I was sorry guys. The first thing she asked me is if I had been taking my progesterone and my estrogen, and the answer to that is yes, I have been. So, the other question was if I was in any pain, which I really was not in pain, other than the mild cramping that I was having, and the fact that I was, freaking out thinking that it was my period. My head was starting to hurt. So I told her about those symptoms. And she told me basically what I thought to hear was that being since I was so far after my transfer and I was getting um, the spotting, it could be either because the embryo is still in planning and getting all comfy in my uterine wall, or it could be the beginnings of my period starting. So I just basically took what she said, and it was the confirmation to me. And she said, at this point, it's nothing that they could really do but for me to just try and take it easy and to continue with the crenone, which is the progesterol, and progesterone, and the estrogen until my beta appointment, so that you know at least they can say that they tried to support the pregnancy, you know, if I end up getting a negative. So she was just basically trying to have me continue on my meds like normal, to do everything that I'm supposed to do, just to say that we tried everything. Um, which was very disappointing and heartbreaking for me. Um, because by me being so young and all the statistics that I've read, and the center that I'm going to is number 2 here in Miami, I really, 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 really um, should be pregnant. I don't have any uterine fibroids by the grace of God. I didn't have any other fertility issues other than block 2, which by me going through this process, I was told that everything would be okay. I'm not feeling that it's not okay, but I have to prepare myself just in case. Um, I want to be excited, but part of me is I still have that guard. I can't be excited because I'm the type of person where I start preparing myself for the worst. Um, I've been praying for this for so long, and I said, God, if for whatever reason it doesn't work, you are still Lord of my life. You are still Alpha and Omega. Everything begins and ends with you. So, if it doesn't work out, I know that it's for a reason, but I know that God will still give us our baby. As long as we hold on to Him and stand up on faith, I know that what we want will come true. And so, you know, with that, my heart is calm. I've been praying that He protects me from all hurt. I don't want, which is more so why the reason I'm thinking towards the worst, because when I get the news, I don't want it to be a shock. I don't want to start crying. I don't want to be depressed. I just want to be able to look forward and say, okay, let's go on to step number 2, whatever that is. Me waiting 2 weeks, a month, or 2 months before I start over again, because I'm not going to give up. So I haven't really been talking about it as much because, I just want to wait to see what the outcome is. And even after the outcome, I still believe I'm going to wait at least a good month and a half before I start really, telling people. Unless they're able to look at me and say, oh, you look different and are you expecting? I will not be telling anyone. Other than you guys and my hubby and maybe 2 or 3 of my close friends and my sister. Which you all are watching me here. So you'll know. But, so, and then also today I went and I did see a little more spotting. So after I hung up with the RE, the doctor, I took another crenone and I laid down and I rested. I still had those cramps in my stomach and in my back. And I said, you know what, God? I'm prepared either way. If it's my period, I'm just going to go in the bathroom, get a pad, and just relax. Tell my hubby, hey, it didn't work out, and let's just start working on whatever, plans we have with this house. Continue focusing on that. I'll continue focusing on work. You know, God has it all in his hands, and we're going to just do it again. That's it. You know? Um, but I laid down for about 2 hours. I got up, I did some light housework, and then I had to work last night as well, 12 hours. Came home this morning, crashed. When I woke up, it was around 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I went to the bathroom again, and there was more spotting. So, it was kind of like yesterday. It's like 5 hours later, nothing's there. Nothing's there. It's a bright pink. Looks like it has a little brown in it, but I see more pink than anything. And it comes and then it just disappears. So when I think back with my daughter, I didn't have that problem. And I'm calling it a problem because it's a scare. It really is a scare. And it freaks you out when you're thinking that you're pregnant and you see blood. You know, with my son, when I was due to get my period, I did see the spotting. So I was thinking on that day when it was due that it was coming. So I was like, hey, this is it. But then an hour or two later, when I checked back, there was nothing else. And I was pregnant with my son. I tested the very next day and I was pregnant. So I mean, there it is. I mean, it is possible that I could be pregnant, but you know, I just don't know. My boobs, I'm going to tell you the symptoms that I've been having. My boobs have been very, very sore. The areola area has been very sensitive. I'm having a lot of cramping. I'm very funny about what I want to eat all of a sudden. Usually, you know, you can fix me a plate of food, and when I say food, I mean rice and peas and maybe chicken or curry or, you know, food, yam dumpling, and I would eat it all. But now the only thing I really want is something light, like soup. For the past 3 days, I've been living off soup. um, and a lot of water. My mouth has been very dry. Especially in the mornings. When I wake up, I just go straight to the refrigerator to get a water bottle. And I carry water bottles with me all day because my mouth gets so dry. I have to have either ice or water in my mouth. Let's see what else. The tiredness, ridiculous. Like I said, I've been working these 12-hour shifts. I work at the hospital. And to come home is a mission for me, because I work all the way, let's say I work about 30 to 40 minutes away from where I live, and I literally find myself drifting off on the way home, and it's crazy. I have to either turn up the radio, let the window down, call somebody on the phone, or either fall asleep in the parking lot for a good 10 to 15 minutes before I head home. If I can't get sleep, you know, if I and most of usually I'm not the type of person where I can fall asleep anywhere, but these past days when I leave from work, it's like 8 o'clock in the morning. I go to my car and I sit there and I fall asleep. And I have to wake myself up and or hear a car parking next to me for me to realize that I'm sleeping, you know, and I need to get up out of there. So, you know, it's been weird with me with this sleeping thing, and I find myself drifting off on the road, drifting off at work. As far as home, I've been a little bit lazy, not like my normal self. I usually have like the energy of an Energizer bunny. I get up and I start laundry. While laundry is going, I'm cooking. While cooking is going, I can talk about to 2 or 3 different people on the phone. The only thing I've been wanting to do lately is just sleep and dream. That's it. When I look at the calendar, I'm not really sure. Maybe you ladies